Hello, everyone. This is Arno Nakaha with SJ Rossiter here. We are your hosts for the UK Zoom call. This is a call that we do every Tuesday, 8 p.m. British time, 3 p.m. Eastern time, for all of our UK friends to introduce them to Team Beachbody, wonderful world of Team Beachbody. Every week so far, we've brought you a super trainer or one of our nutritionists or co-formulators, as well as a president. Jeff Hill has been on. We're excited on this call to have a gentleman that I've learned so much from, that has made a big-time impact on our coaching community, and you're in for a treat. So excited to do that. Before we get started, we've got a few announcements to share, and we'll get this show on the road with the Joel Freeman. So SJ, why don't you share a few things before we get started?
Yeah, so a couple of announcements for you is that we still have places available for the business sessions. So don't feel that you can't invite people. If you're already going in for the Sean T events on either the morning or the afternoon, still invite people along. Don't worry about them being left outside. They will have plenty of people to network with. There are going to be lots of people there that didn't quite make it into the Sean events, so there will be loads of things for them to learn, and it will be an amazing opportunity for them to really get the sense of what Beachbody is about and hear from all of the founders. So definitely let's get those spaces filled up. And for those of you that are 100% looking, or maybe just teetering on the edge of becoming a UK coach, you've got to watch out for all the trainings. We are fully aware that we can give you a lot more before we launch. So from the 30-day countdown, there are going to be a lot more trainings for you with regards to the basics. So I know I kind of teased a bit when I did the tour of the office with the first 30. So we will be going through some of the steps in the first 30 and giving you some tools to really make launch a great day for you. And then also, we've just got it kind of okayed that we're going to be announcing some of the incentives. And this gives me goosebumps because trust me, you're going to want to hear about these.
It's almost go time.
Yeah, they were going to wait till launch day. And I was like, can we just let some of these go before we launch? Because I know there's some of you really running for some ranks before we go live. So I think this might help you on your journey. So you'll be wanting to watch out for those videos too. So they're my top 3 announcements for you today. So yeah, let's get it over to Joel.
Excellent. 30 days. Next week will be 30 days until launch. So excited. Let me go ahead and unmute Mr. Joel Freeman. Joel, can you hear us?
What's up, everybody?
How are you?
I'm great, man.
Excellent. Well, listen, I want to introduce you to the UK Zoom call. We've got on this call a lot of our UK friends that will be customers or coaches, and as well as a lot of our US and Canadian coaches. So, Joel, great to have you on here. Look forward to hearing from you. And at the end, if there is any time, we'll go ahead and entertain some question and share that with you. So take it away, sir.
Oh, right. Jeez, man. No pressure. Good Lord. Throwing stuff right at me. Hey, what's it's okay. No, love being on the call, and it's been a lot of fun to watch the momentum growing with everything coming into the UK. So it's been really fun to watch. I kind of feel like a little bit of an outsider though, because it's so far away. I want to jump across the pond. So Arnold, we got to talk about this later, brother. And let's get a UK trip going. Yeah.
Let's do it. I think a lot of people would welcome that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun. So, there are a couple of things, and I think a few points that I'm loving is I was doing, once I heard that Beachbody was going into the UK, it was like one of those things like, okay, maybe I should actually do a little bit of research and learn about the UK a little bit more, and from a health standpoint. And so I was doing some insight into that. And I tell you what, I think this is the best time now than ever for this to be happening for over there with you guys, because when you look at the stats, some of the stats are just as dismal as we have across the pond here, and it's kind of depressing when you look at that in a way, because you're like, oh man, you would hope that you go somewhere else and it's not as bad. We always think it's sometimes it's worse in America because food is, well, you get like deep fried funnel cakes and crap like that. But apparently UK has things just as good, because you're going through the same obesity issues that we are. And I was looking at the stats, and you got almost 30% of your population that are considered obese, and then you got 65% that are overweight in some form or fashion. I mean, those are some nasty numbers, and children are in the same boat. 1 out of 3 children in the UK are considered overweight or obese as well. So this is a great opportunity to really bring, as we know, if you're familiar with Beachbody and as you're learning about a full holistic, all-around nutrition platform, well-rounded exercise platform. I mean, this is a one-stop shop, and this is the only company, and this is why I work for this company. This is why I left everything that I've been doing over 15 years in the fitness industry to come and be a part of it, because it's the only place where you can get the one-stop shop. You can get Beachbody on demand. You can get your nutrition through Shakeology. You can get your supplementation through Beachbody Performance. And now we've got Daily Sunshine, really targeting the youth of our youth of tomorrow. So it's just a great time. I'm excited. I'm excited for you guys. How about that? I mean, I think it's going to be awesome. And obviously myself, the rest of the Super Trainer team, we're totally here to support everything that we can from this side of the pond, and doing everything we can. So, I mean, that's kind of like my little intro. Is like, that's what I got, man. It's awesome.
Excellent. So I do have a few questions that I wrote down, Joel, to kind of, help direct, the conversation, because on this call, we've got some people that are very familiar with the Beachbody system and some that are not as familiar with the Beachbody system. So in your estimation, you have a lot of years working in, some of the top gyms across the world, some of the best systems, and you've traveled across the world. So you've got a real good experience. You can speak from a credibility standpoint. For someone that is looking at this on this call, or maybe watching this recording, what makes Beachbody unique in your estimation?
Well, I think it's kind of just what I said a second ago. It's the only, and it really is the only place where it's a one-stop shop. And what I mean by that is I mentioned that you have Beachbody on demand, you have your nutrition, and so there are so many things out there, especially in the fitness world, and again, I'm just speaking from a U.S. perspective of what I see, but there's a lot of, and I know that it travels across as well, that there's so many new apps out there. There are so many things in the world of social media. It's really enabled people to just film workouts in their garage, and they put them up there, and then look, if they show their ass on Instagram, they get 4 million followers. That's pretty much how it works. So, but it doesn't necessarily, there's not the credibility standpoint. There's not the exercise science behind it. So, that's just one person. I'm not saying that anything that they're doing wrong, except for Kim Kardashian. She's useless. But the rest of them are just, they're doing the best they can. And with that, you're only going as far as this one person's knowledge. I know certain things about exercise and gym industry and nutrition, but it goes about this far because that's as big as my brain feels sometimes. And it's only as much as information and knowledge as I can, as opposed to Beachbody has collectively, I was just at the office this morning, I mean, we're talking, and this is just one building of 3 floors of hundreds of people that spread out into another building in a different part of the city in Utah and across the world now, where you're talking hundreds and thousands of collective brains coming together to put the best science of exercise and nutrition together. And that is what really differentiates Beachbody from anywhere else, because you've got so many brains, so much brain power working to try to make this the one-stop shop and try to bring the programs and the products out that will give people the results they want and need, and also fit into somebody's life. And I think that's really the most important aspect of all of this, is really understanding that what we're doing in the world of health and fitness, it's not meant to try to shove somebody into a different way of thinking in terms of they have to change their entire life. Now, that's in a very extreme case, and sometimes that does have to happen. But let's talk realism. Let's talk reality, and the fact that some people just need to start exercising 30 minutes a day, 20 minutes a day. They just need to start walking. They might just need to start doing an exercise program, just like Core to Force. They might just need to get their nutrition on tape, like that plug. They might just need to get their nutrition going a little bit better. So then you replace Shakeology with a meal. I mean, there's just so many different ways and options that you have in Beachbody versus anywhere else you go. That's going to make your life and your job, if you're a coach, so much easier, as well as it's really going to give your clients what they need.
So let's talk about that, and let's elaborate on CDF. I'm a big fan of that. While I love watching MMA and what's that league that shows the MMA? Gosh, UFC, right? I would rather just punch the air than get punched, or or punch someone. So talk to us about CDF, Core de Force. For those that are not familiar, or if there's people that would like to get their fitness started with CDF, what's your take on it? What's your advice?
Well, I can tell you one from experience that, yeah, it is a lot more fun punching air than getting kicked or punched in the face, because I've had both happen to me. And it's not near it's not cool. Like, it looks cool on TV, and it's crazy how, like, I have so much respect for the UFC fighters and anybody in the world of boxing and MMA, anything, because some of that stuff is just like, you take a roundhouse kick to the head and then you just walk it off. Like, are you kidding me? So yeah, we definitely took that part out of Core de Force. But when Jericho and I, when we came in and we started talking about Core de Force, we really wanted to break the mold with this one, and it was a challenge. We knew we were coming into something that was going to be challenging, because in the world of exercise, cardio kickboxing is old school. It's been around for a long time. We go back to Billy Blank's Tae-Bo, and even before that, it's been with Turbo and everything like that. So it's been around. MMA inspired programs have been around for a very long time. What we really wanted to get into was the world of authentic mixed martial arts style training. And that was the angle that we went with this. And that's why when we went into our prod dev and we really looked at everything that we had done ourselves personally, that we wanted to bring in all the exercise and health benefits of mixed martial arts style training without getting punched or kicked in the face. We thought that might turn people off if we say you have to go get punched. Just saying. So we took that out of there, and then we really went after the MMA style training of it, and that's the outcome. And so for anybody who doesn't matter if you've never punched, doesn't matter if you've never kicked before. It's not about this. There's no prerequisite. This is simply us, Jericho and I, showing everybody how to move authentically like fighters do, because fighters have amazing physiques. And yes, it is not all punching and kicking. That is a part of it. But in terms of striking and things like that, that's a separate side of training. What we did is we took the rest of the training elements and brought it into this 30-day workout. And it is really amazing what these guys do, and everything that we do in Core de Force, we vetted through our trainers, our mixed martial art trainers. We have a Muay Thai trainer, 3-time United States and British world champ Muay Thai. We worked with him. We worked with some legends in the MMA world to really make sure that this was authentic and this was legit, and that you are moving and training like a fighter would train, and get those results. And the reason why we called it Core de Force is because everything about fighting and in the world of just moving is so core centric. And that's something that we know in terms of, again, back to the statistics in the United States, and I'm sure this is probably worldwide. In the United States, we have 80% of people have lower back issues. And most of that is just from a weak core. It's from sitting all day with your stomach just not even trying to use your core or your abs. So what we wanted to do is really start with the local stabilizer muscles, the ones that run right down your spine, and work outward. And that's what the transverse plane of movement, the rotational plane of movement does. That's how you condition these muscles. And with Core de Force, that's exactly what we're focusing on. So we really go deep into the core. We engage all of your muscles. And then on top of that, it's a shredding program, 30 days, no equipment needed. And, you come out of it and then you feel like a badass. You feel empowered, no matter if you've ever punched or kicked before. When you come out of this, you're like, you know what? I think I could punch somebody in the face if I had to. We don't condone it, but you probably could. We teach you how to use your body in these types of movements.
Very cool. Get you a Core de Force belt, black belt or something.
All right. Yeah. We don't condone fighting, but we also, it's kind of fun sometimes.
Awesome. I'll stick to punching the air. Lots of fans watching live here, lots of people, some kids even joining some parents. Obviously, make sure that you're always safe there. Someone says it's helped her with her sciatica, and it helped her tremendously. Lynn Morgan, I think. As far as nutrition, Joel, what's kind of the nutrition plan? What can people expect from that end to make sure that they optimize their results?
The Quarter-Force eating plan is really simple. We obviously worked with a nutrition team at Beachbody, and these guys, they break down the macros more than I ever could. So what we wanted to do is, and this is kind of the nice thing about Quarter-Force, one of the many things, is the fact that because it's a shredding program, because of the intensity that we're putting you through in some of these workouts, we have to fuel your body. So if you think of your body as a car, if you want it to go further, you have to put more fuel in it, right? Otherwise, your car's not going to. What, petrol is what I'm supposed to say in the UK, right? Okay, you got to put petrol in to make your lorry, car, whatever it is, go. I got to work on my terminology. So your body's the exact same. If you don't give it fuel, it's not going to go anywhere. So the eating plan, you eat, and that's awesome. And there's carbs in it too. Yay! I thought everybody was going to be really a lot more excited about that.
Yes, yeah, carbs.
Come on, more carbs. Carbs are our friends if you do it the right way. And so when Jericho and I were working on the eating plan with the rest of the team, we really wanted to make this again something that's like, it's not just a bunch of kale. Look, kale's great for you, but I don't want to eat it every day. Like, I'm a burger guy and pizza guy. So we worked with the nutritionist. We came up with some of our own personal recipes in there that are great. Cheeseburgers are mine. And it is really going to take you through the whole, as you go through the Quarter-Force program, the eating plan is going to follow that. So, we're going to really ramp up your carbs, and then we'll bring it down, obviously, towards the end to give you the best possible results and just completely shred you out. But carbs are not the enemy with this program. That's the nice thing.
Very cool. Excellent. There's a couple questions on here, Joel, if you don't mind me asking those. The first one is, I'm getting over a herniated disc. Would CDF work for me?
Yeah, that's a great question, and it's something I forgot to mention. I'm glad that question was asked, because so here you go. Me personally, I have 2 herniated discs in my back as well, L4, L5, L5S1. I've had them for almost over a decade now, just from years ago, overtraining CrossFit. Don't do it. And that's what happened to me. So my 2 lower discs are completely herniated, or actually at this point now completely empty. Like, if you look at the MRI, like, there's 2 spaces that are just blank. It's pretty crazy. And normally, if I had not been, normally what happens is once you get herniated disc, and especially once you get to this point, the discs usually start to collapse, right? Because there's nothing holding it up. I have had nearly zero. I mean, we're talking like minuscule millimeters of any sort of collapsing of both of my discs, because the muscles around it are holding my spine perfectly in line and together. So that's a testament to this type of training. Now, that obviously we have to have the disclaimer that if you have any sort of issue, you have to get cleared by your doctor first. If you have a herniated disc and you need to do physical therapy first, that's what I did when I first jacked up my back. I didn't want to have surgery. That scares the hell out of me. So especially back surgery, I'm like, no effing way are you getting like cutting into my spine. So I did 6 months of physical therapy and just really worked on reducing the inflammation and stretching and things like that. And then now what I do to keep going is I stretch and I do this type of training. This is the type of training that keeps my spine in alignment. It keeps me strong. It keeps me upright, and it keeps me out of surgery. So for people that have these types of issues, obviously you need to listen to your body and start at your own, whatever your level is, that's where you start. But transverse plane of movement training is phenomenal to really strengthen your core for lower back issues or upper back issues.
Excellent. Let's see. Thank you for that response. The other one is, can you do Quarter-Force while pregnant?
Yeah, same thing. As always, when it comes to pregnancy or any injuries like that, doctor. That's the disclaimer, right? You have to get clearance from your doctor or your OBGYN. But as you're pregnant, you totally can. We have lots of modifications in the program itself. And then obviously as you progress in your trimesters, you're going to have to change certain exercises. So like the ones where you're laying on your stomach prone position, of course you're not going to be doing that one. But you can totally do this while pregnant as long as you get your doctor's consent and again, listening to your body.
Awesome. So SJ, you had a question.
I do actually. I've got a question for you. It's about if you were coming into quarter force, like you've just joined Beachbody, is this a really good program to get started with? Or what level would you say your programs are?
It's a great question. So we designed this program for everybody. We made it to where you can, as I said before, having never punched or kicked before, you can come into it and you can totally do it. And it's just, we have what's called learn it and work it before every single MMA workout. So we take you through how to stand, how to move, how to turn correctly, and just like a fighter would. So we've given you all the tools that a beginner would need to do this program. Now, as with if anything, even if you are a seasoned exercise person and you come into quarter force, it's gonna feel funky. You have to remember that fighting and this type of movement is not natural. None of this is natural movement. So it's basically, if you're right-handed and I say, hey, start writing with your left hand, it's going to start out looking a little weird, but the more you do it and your muscle memory kicks in and your body adapts, that's when you start to really get the full results out of it and the benefits from it. So we designed this for everybody. We have a modifier in it. And obviously, and cool thing about technology is if anybody's doing quarter force through Beachbody On Demand, we were able to do a split screen. So now you can have the option of having Jessica or modifier up on one side of the screen the entire time while the workout is going off on the other side. So we really broke it down and made it simple. So I tell everybody, give this program a shot if you want to try something new and different. But the great thing is Beachbody On Demand look at the library on Beachbody On Demand. So, people say, well, this isn't for me, then great. Find something that is, right? There's plenty of things to choose from.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Excellent. So you earlier talked about peer support, Joel. Many of us like to do stuff on our own. For someone just getting started, why do you think a coach is important to help? Besides the incredible super trainers that you and Jericho are and many others, why do you feel a coach? Well, and I mean it. You guys have, changed a lot of lives. But why do you think having a coach and peer support are also important to one reaching their fitness success?
Well, peer support is huge. Look, people are people. We're creatures of habit, and it doesn't matter if someone says they're a loner, but there's a sense of wanting to be around other people and really get some sort of peer support and peer interaction in a lot of different ways. And health and fitness is huge because I've seen this and saw this in the gym industry for so long, and it's still happening to this day, is where someone comes in, they join the gym, they get their little check-in card, and there's a lot of places that simply say, here you go, here's your check-in card, here's your membership, here's all the equipment, and good luck. Hope you lose weight. And those people are often the ones that usually come back a few months later, or they just stop coming, period. And they say, I want to quit. I didn't see any results. I didn't have a plan. And having a Beachbody coach, especially, you want a Beachbody coach that has done their homework and knows. And when I tell, Arnold, I've done a lot of coach calls and training with coaches. And I used to train all the new employees at all the gyms that I worked at, because it was all about creating connections with your clients and understanding what your client needs. And that's exactly what peer support is going to do. So it's not a necessary thing of just saying, when you hear peer support, you're like, hey, go team, go, you're doing a great job. But it's actually becoming an expert on your people and who you're talking to, and really learning what is not working in that person's life, and then helping them step by step make those changes. And that's exactly what we would do in the gyms that I worked at, where we say, okay, cool, you just joined the gym. Okay, now, that was step one. Now we're going to start giving you a step-by-step implementation plan of how you're going to achieve your results. And you have to go step by step. You have to start small. If you overload somebody brand new, it's going to be too much. And this is why people jump on the fitness bandwagon after the holidays, because they're like, I gained weight, I want to lose it. I'm going to start exercising. I'm going to stop eating crap. I'm going to get up at 5:30 every morning. So they try to do all these things at once, and it's way too much, versus just changing one thing here and succeeding at that one thing, and then going to the next thing and succeeding at that thing. And that's what I tell Beachbody coaches all the time when I talk to them, is when you talk to your peers and you talk to your clients, is saying, okay, here's little goals that we're going to meet. And those little goals eventually become big goals, right? They become big accomplishments. That's where people, if they have to lose 100 pounds, I'm not going to start pushing them to lose 100 pounds. I'm going to push them to lose 5. I'm going to push them to lose 10. I'm going to help them with their diet, their nutrition, really figuring out what is not working. Those little small changes, they're going to be huge. So, and that's exactly what a peer support Beachbody coach should be doing with their clients, and that's how they see success.
That's incredible. And by the way, if you're, this is like coach training happening right here. One of the best. That was going to be one of the questions I ask is, if I'm a coach and I want to do a good job, with my client and test group participant, what do I do? I'll ask a different question, Joel. I know that you've spoken on this on mindset. The mindset that you've got to bring to, if you do want to become a coach and you do want to pay it forward, what sort of mindset do you think that they should have once we kick off the business, in a little over 30 days in the United Kingdom to be successful, however they define their success?
Yeah. Well, look, you have to have the mindset that you're really willing, you're wanting to come in and really help people. And I say that, and most people are like, oh yeah, I want to help people. But you got to really commit to that, because this does take time. I've been in the industry for 15 years now, 16 years, holy crap. And it takes time. Like, I am still working towards my goals and constantly improving and getting better and still learning myself. And, that's the great thing about this. It's ever evolving. There's always new things coming out. But as a Beachbody coach, if you want to come into this, you don't have to be an expert. I don't want anybody to ever think, I've said this forever, is you do not have to be a fitness expert. You don't have to know all this stuff. Like, I've already said it. I don't know all this stuff, but I surround myself with people that do. And if you get people that really know nutrition, or really know this, and really know that, and all this stuff, and that's what Beachbody is, you surround yourself with enough people, then you have this collective brain that has all the information. Then your job is to disseminate that information to your clients and figuring out what they need to hear. So you act as a funnel, so to speak, to give all this information and funneling it down to your clients. And so it's a matter of knowing what your resources are through Beachbody, through the back office, through BOD or anything like that, and understanding what you have. And then as you want to jump into being a coach, understand that this is definitely a battle by all means. Like, I don't want you to think this is easy, because it's not, because people are stubborn. Everybody's stubborn. I'm just as stubborn when it comes to wanting something. Like, sometimes I'm sitting there, I'm like, man, I really want a beer. And I'm like, no, I shouldn't have one, but I want one. I'll go back and forth like 5 times, and then eventually I'll go get a beer. It just, this is just how it works, and people are stubborn. So when you tell somebody, especially if they have like a soda addiction to Coca-Cola or something like that, and you got to tell them, hey, you got to stop doing that, watch the reaction. They're going to be like, no, I don't want to. So you got to really understand that this is going to be a bit of a battle, but it's, and you got to go after the people that want help, and I say this all the time, because I get this question a lot. People are like, well, what do you tell someone? I'm a Beachbody coach, and what do you tell someone that's like, exercising, working out in a gym, that they should start doing workouts at home? I wouldn't tell them that, because that person's already exercising. That person's they're good. They know what they're doing. If they want another option, I'm going to give them the option. But I'm going after in the United States, I'm going after the 70% of the population that are not exercising. That's who I'm going after. In the UK, I guarantee you guys are in the exact same boat. You have a percentage of the population, it's probably more than that, right? Probably especially if you have more rural areas, which I think you do. So, there may not be as many options for health and fitness out there. So go after the people that are sitting on their butts and watching TV, because if they're just sitting there or watching the telly, because if they're sitting on their butts watching the telly, then I guarantee you they have time to work out for 30 minutes. So those are the people you should be going after, and really understand that it will take time. And that's my final point to that, Arnold, is this takes time, guys. Don't come into it and say, I'm going to be a billionaire in the first month, because it probably won't happen. It may not even happen in the first 6 months. But the success will come if you keep plugging at it and you treat this as a job and you really put your full commitment behind it, it works. And that's, those are all the top coaches can tell you that, probably verbatim, that you got to put the time and effort into it to make it happen.
Absolutely. We call them super trainers, but they're also super real. And that's something just, I know a lot of people appreciate. I certainly appreciate. I just want to honor you and commend you and just thank you for connecting with so many people. I watched Joel, at our last Success Club trip in Punta Cana. By the way, our UK friends will get to participate in some of those, but he's going around and I swear you know everybody's name and just taking the time to say hello and that goes a long way. Several coaches came up and just were so thankful for that. So we thank you for your time. I know you're super busy. Really appreciate it. This has been a great call. If you guys think this has been a great call, I know there's several people that were saying how CDF is their favorite workout, and there's several that are going to be streaming that here soon. So we want to thank you for that. In closing, Joel, for people that live under a rock that would like to follow you and know more about Joel, where can they find you on the World Wide Web?
Super simple. Joel Freeman Fitness on Instagram and Facebook. That's my handle, Joel Freeman Fitness. So you can get me on there. And look, I do my own social media. It's me. I'm not, I don't have anybody else doing it. So I love seeing it. And Jericho and I are the same when it comes to this quarter forces. We love scrolling through the hashtags and looking at everybody doing it. Cause this is what we do. We love it. It's awesome. We love everybody that wants to be a part of it. And, the people who are taking the time and the effort, we're going to take just as much time and effort to return the favor and connect with them. So, I'm looking forward to it. And yeah, dude, I want to see the UK. I've never been there. I want to get across the pond and let's do some workouts and have some fun.
Awesome. You know what? Everybody that's on this call live and watching the recording, hashtag is Core the Force. Add a UK hashtag, maybe UK Zoom call so that Joel can connect with you guys and see how much you guys love him. And you never know. We might
never know, and we're having a lot of fun with it. And I got, obviously give a shout out to our UK Beachbody Live coaches or master trainers. We've got 3 of you guys over there, Kim, Diane, and Gemma. They're doing a great job. So, we're pulling Quarter Force Live, and that's coming into the gyms. That's awesome. We're super excited about that. So we're, Quarter Force is slowly taking over.
Let's do this. Thank you so much, Joel. Really appreciate your time.
Absolutely.
Day, everyone.
Awesome. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. All right. For SJ Rossiter and I, we will see you guys next week, same time. Look out for a poster announcing the next call this weekend and look forward to seeing you guys soon. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.